Have you hugged a Reitman, wagered a podcast bet, toasted to friends at Clover Pint? Prove it all to your friends with CrossRip merch available now in the gift shop. T-shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, and a whole lot more. Your purchase supports the show and keeps us running. Go to Ghostbusters HQ/shop to get yours today. I like that shirt, friend.
This week on the CrossRip program, we are joined by our good friends at Yes Have Some for a roundtable discussion about that amazing Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer that came out on Tuesday morning. This was actually our live stream that happened on Tuesday night. A very fun discussion. We dive into all of the details, the Easter eggs, all the things that we think about it. Plus, we do have some talk about the toys that were announced on Tuesday. There's a couple of F-bombs. I'm going to forewarn you, but don't let that deter you. It is awesome. Stay tuned.
Still Playing with Toys presents the Ghostbusters Interdimensional CrossRip, the biggest podcast since 1909.
So great.
News, interviews, and commentary on everything Ghostbusters.
Are you the key master?
Here are your hosts, Troy Benjamin and Chris Stewart.
You know, it's just occurred to me we really haven't had a completely successful test of this equipment.
Oh, we have fun. Woo!
All right, everybody, we are about to get started. Welcome to the show. Where are my buttons? Things are falling apart already. Hello, everybody. Somebody's playing it. We're getting feedback.
Mute it.
Mute it.
Mute it.
Not me.
It's not me.
It's not me.
Not
It's
me.
not me.
Not me.
All right.
Who was it?
Who was it?
We're going to dedicate the whole show to figuring out who it was.
I'm pretty sure it was me. I'm pretty sure it was me. What's up, everybody? Oh, I didn't do one last setting. That's fine. I think we figured it out. Hey, everybody. My name is Craig Goldberg. Welcome to Yes Have Some X CrossRip. We're here. We're ready to talk about the Ghostbusters Afterlife trailer number 2. I feel like I'm on a little bit of a delay, so I'm going to pass it to Troy Benjamin, who's joining us from the Ghostbusters Interdimensional CrossRip. What's up, man?
Wow, why are you on a delay? I feel like I've been on a delay all day.
It's
Who
been a
knows
weird
what's
day,
happening
right?
now,
It's been
but-
an insane day.
Hey, happy Ghostbusters Day Part 2, everybody. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, this
gonna
is
be fun.
Ghostbusters Day
Troy.
Part 2. We finally made it to Ghostbusters Day Part 2. Today was an absolutely insane day. I know everybody's reeling. Everybody's stressed. We had this incredible trailer drop this morning. We've got merchandise happening. It hit us all like a ton of bricks. But before we get started, I want to welcome everybody. I want to say, hey, thanks for joining us on a Tuesday night. Abigail, monitoring the chat.
I sure am. I'm
What's
all
going on
over
over
it.
there?
We've got tons of people filing in, which is awesome. I wish I could name everyone, but thank you so much for joining us, y'all. This is great.
It's going to be good. We're going to have a fun night ahead of us. But let's go ahead and introduce everybody. Joining us from Vancouver, British Columbia, Ryan Dole. What's up, man?
Hey, I don't know if I'm frozen. I think I might be delayed somewhat.
It's
as
okay.
well.
We're going to fight through it.
We are going to fight through it, but it's all good. If you want your name shouted out at all by Abigail Gardner, just throw in some money in that super chat, and we'll be sure to, give you a shout out by name.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
the keys to my heart.
That's the way we do
Super
it.
chat.
Jacob Walsh, what's up, man?
Hey, man, I love that the technical difficulties are starting already. It's amazing.
Hey, I've learned that with live streaming, there's just no way around it. So we're just going to, as long as people can see us and hear us, we'll figure it out.
Sure, sure.
So, Jake, how are you doing? How was your Ghostbusters Part 2 day? That's what I'm calling this.
It was stressful. Stressful is a word. It was very stressful. I had to work, and I hated it. And I kind of sped through my work, which probably shouldn't say that out loud. And
Aren't you
so
a
I could
tattoo
slide
artist?
through-
Are you not a tattoo
Are you
artist?
doing permanent art on people?
He was removing someone's appendix today, and he was just like,
It's like
gotta get through
we're gonna do less colors than I would usually do to simplify this tattoo today and just knock it.
I love that. I love
Client
that.
should know. Don't book on trailer day.
There you go. There you go.
Don't-
I can talk. Don't book on trailer day. That's a new rule. Troy Benjamin, what's up, man?
Hello, everybody. How's it going, man? This is fun.
It
I'm
is
so glad
fun.
that you get to do the live stream and deal with all of the technical stuff, and nobody gets mad at me. This is like smooth sailing.
I felt
I
so.
take the-
Remember
the
that time
brunt
you
of
guys
it.
had that big anniversary show, and there was like all that build up, and then YouTube was like,
No.
"Fuck you,
YouTube goes.
Troy, I was
was
I was commenting on the fact that you wrote this incredible write up about the trailer this morning. Go check out GBHQ. It's man, really great thoughts and analysis. And I was like, how did you
man.
do this so fast? I was very impressed.
6:30 this morning, cup of coffee, and just sat down and
Very
had to.
good.
I mean, it was my notes to talk to you guys. I was just trying to get it all, on paper while it was fresh and new.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So real quick, let's before we get to Chris Stewart, we do want to acknowledge we have people doing super chats, and we always have to acknowledge that. So thank you to Barrett
Nice.
Wells. Much love from Burnberry, BC. Great to see everyone. We have a big
Sorry,
Canadian-
say that again. From where in BC?
Burnaby. What'd I say?
Thank you.
There we
Burnberry.
go. It's back.
Burnberry sounds like a.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, there's another delay. Another delay happening.
That's the
and then-
home of Joe Sakic. You show respect.
and
Anyway,
keeping up with
sorry.
his tradition
And Michael J. Fox.
of giving super chats in his own live stream, Christopher Stewart says, "Please tell Ryan I got home safe and I still love him." So thank you.
Yeah.
Chris will only be communicating to Ryan through chat.
Yes, that's the only way we can do
And
it.
it costs money.
Chris, how are you?
Yeah,
man?
and I'd like to.
There, what? What?
Chris.
What'd you say, right? What?
Don't worry about Ryan. Christopher Stewart, how are you?
I'm out of the hospital. I'm fine.
Thank you. I'm good. I actually got home late last night after lots and lots of driving, so I'm sure I'll be concise, scintillating, mushmouth, you name it. But I'm here. Thank you for having me. I'm very glad to be here, Craig. Thank you.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for having me on.
Thank you guys for being here. We love you guys. We love
Yeah.
these team ups. Maybe in other fan communities, there's podcasts and they've got rivalries. I don't know. I'm sure
Right.
I'm sure that happens, but not here. It's all one big family.
Not with you guys.
And then
No beef with you guys.
There's no beef with us. The YHS beefs are always internal between each other.
It's like, goddamn, Monster Island. Back off.
And of course, Abigail Gardner, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much. And I appreciate everyone being here, both in the chat and like all the faces I'm seeing on this screen. Chris, Troy, it's really fun to see you guys. Ryan, as always, great to see you. I saw you last night.
Yeah, that's great.
And Jake, we were on the phone like all day. I think you and Ryan, or you, Craig, and I talking. I have not slept like properly over the last 24, 48 hours. It's been awesome. That's all I'll say. It's been a whirlwind, and I'm happy
Why?
to
What
devote.
happened?
Come on. Nothing.
So much has happened.
Yeah, legit. So
Ugh.
much has happened. And it's a great feeling to be able to come together tonight and talk about this special.
Yeah, so let's set the stage here. Ghostbusters Afterlife was originally supposed to come out in July of 2015. That is not the year. That is not the year. It feels like that's what the year was. July of 2020.
All right.
2020.
And by the way, I am going to acknowledge all these super chats. I very much appreciate it, guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, but again, if you work for YHS, you don't have to super chat us.
That's
But thank
that's
you,
true.
Jakey.
That's true. July 2020, delayed till March of this year, delayed till June of this year, and now delayed till November of this year. But it seems like November's going to happen. Everybody's been asking for this second trailer. It seems like they probably had at least some version of this trailer ready a year ago, and they had to sit on it, which must have been torture. But I just kind of want to roundtable we're going to go through it. I've got screenshots. We're going to get the chat involved. We're going to break this down, but I kind of want to do an initial thought. We're all longtime Ghostbusters fans. We are all very invested and involved in the development of the third movie in this saga. And I just want to know what everybody's guttural reactions were. So we'll start with our guests. Troy, you said it 6 a.m. this morning. What was your first feelings?
Goosebumps. That was the common running theme through watching this. It was just like, even going through and working on my breakdown and trying to do frame by frame and analyze it, it would put that little shiver down your spine, which was awesome. That's always a good sign. And man, it's so good to see any little glimpse from this movie. Like every single frame, there's something in there that we can be chewing over for the next 4 months because we have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Very good. Chris, how about yourself?
I think I'm still processing it. I got to watch it a few times. I watched Jason's walkthrough of it. I'd like to go on record that everybody on Twitter that said he totally covered everything, he totally did not cover everything. There's some real big reveals in that trailer. Yeah, he went very deep on the stuff he talked about, and I loved it. That was that whole. It's almost 15 minutes, and he's talking about making it and his history with it, and talked about stuff like the practical effects and all that sort of thing. And so everything that he said was gold. But what I'm trying to point out to people is there's way more in the trailer that and I think deliberately did not point out. If you saw it, you saw it, and if you didn't, then he's not going to tell you about it. He's going to leave that one to me. But personally, I'm just I don't know. We'll get to it about the toy stuff. I think the toy stuff that it interfered with the trailer for me, because I saw pictures of the toy stuff and my brain just started to close itself down on spoilers for the movie, and it's kind of interfering with my watching and enjoying the trailer. But by the time I got to the third one, I could tell. I mean, the great part about the trailer is there's still questions. It answered a lot. Like, frankly, if you watch it 3 or 4 times of the stuff you see, you're like, there are some big reveals there, but there's still a lot of big questions left in that trailer. So I'm feeling good about it. I can't say I'm excited, and I don't think that's the trailer. I think that's just, like I said, I'm kind of operating on half power,
right?
And I'm a brain numb on, call out the Michigan Ghostbusters. There, they posted one of the figure pictures, and it was and I was kind of mad about it for a while, and then I realized we kind of also see it in the trailer. So I don't know. There's a lot. It's been a roller coaster. So I'm just disassociating. I'm not going to smile anymore, and I have no.
Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, we're here for you.
It's interesting.
Thank you very much.
I can kind of give a couple quick thoughts. In that vein, it's like we've all been through so much to get to this point, so it's kind of even hard to process whatever you're feeling. And I know that I went through like this whole like wave of emotions, and then like all the toy pictures start coming out, and like you're still thinking about the trailer, and then you watch Jason's breakdown, and kind of like Chris was saying, there's so much in the trailer that's like not acknowledged in that breakdown for obvious reasons. But Jake, I want to get your thoughts. The thing that really struck me the most about this movie is like, I've been saying this the last couple of weeks, but I'll make my big speech again. This is the least likely scenario for a third Ghostbusters movie. Like, it is the most. It's like for Ghostbusters fans, like hardcore Ghostbusters. You see, like the regular public reacting, going, "What is this?" Like this, like they're like, "I'm excited. This is amazing." But like somebody today was like, "There's all this lore. I didn't know Ghostbusters had lore." And I was like, "Then you should have listened to what Egon was talking about when they were in jail. There's lore, man. Plenty of lore." Jake, what were your initial thoughts?
Well, talking about going off of that, one of the things that you said, I think yesterday, was that Mandalorian kind of showed people that, talking about Luke showing up at the end of the second season being one of those moments that people think like, oh, that will never happen. And then it happened, has kind of showed us like, oh, maybe these kind of like big things that we make up in our head might happen. And I feel like maybe this trailer is that, because it's not what I thought it was going to be in the best way. It's like a best case scenario trailer. And I think just like as far as my first time watching it this morning, I was at work. I had to be at work already. So, grown man sitting in the back corner watching this on an iPad, trying not to cry in front of my coworkers.
I get it, man. I don't know how you did it.
Yeah, it was.
I did.
It was like that, man. It was. It's crazy. It's well, Abigail, what were your initial thoughts?
I'm getting kind of emotional, I guess, thinking about it honestly. And when I think back to our first viewing this morning, I was so struck by and caught off guard by Phoebe's character, McKenna Grace. Like, there's a shot of her being bullied by kids with like a bag of Doritos, and the expression on her face, like, it just emotionally, I connected so deeply with her, and honestly was hoping so much that this movie would have that kind of like a story with characters that I could relate to in that way. And I was so thrilled to see that stuff. And then just to know that she's got like relationship issues, like listening to her mom talking to Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, like also that scene takes place in a Chinese restaurant, which is like kind of canon for Ghostbusters. It's like, and that's only in the first couple seconds of this trailer. Like as it progressed, I got off the couch and just to jump to like stuff that happened when the terror dog bolts out of the Walmart. I was like,
hold on, analyze that sentence.
When the terror dog bolts out of the Walmart, I at that point was like had dropped to my knees with arms up in the air, like touchdown, like screaming at the top of my lungs. And I know that I'm on record saying this about other Ghostbusters trailers, but this literally, like, I went to therapy today, and it was like hard for me not to just talk about this trailer. I was like, I
Just do it.
That's all I can think
You're
about.
paying.
Yeah, I know. I was
You
like, all
might as
right,
well.
Mead, here we go. Talking about Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, I agree with all that. It very much like as soon as Janine popped on the screen, I literally had the Ian Malcolm moment where I was like, "You crazy son of a bitch, you did it!
Yeah.
You're making my head fan fiction from the last 30 years." Like, and then Janine shows up, and then she's talking about Egon because like, and it's just like, how is this?
Dare to dream, and it's okay. Like you're not gonna have your hopes dashed. It's an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
That's all
Ryan, you had some pretty strong rules this morning. You said you shut off your phone. You didn't want to hear anything from anybody. Walk me through your morning.
Well, I think I'm probably still delayed, so my apologies for that.
No worries. We'll get there.
But yeah, it was just me pretty much just getting up, having a coffee, turning the TV on, not seeing anyone's reaction to anything because I didn't want to be like, because I just know like when you're on the Pacific Coast and everyone's already watched it for 3 hours, you know, everyone's going to be in every chat going, "Oh my God, this part." And I just didn't want to see any of that. I don't want to find out stuff from the trailer from like a bunch of like fucking clowns in a chat. No
Right.
offense, you guys.
So
And then,
hold on. So unlike a real fan, you didn't set an alarm and get up when the trailer came out?
No way. I
Ryan.
like to sleep. I love to sleep. And then I was like, I didn't want to be tired and grumpy all day. And so, I just grabbed my coffee, sat there, turned the TV on, watched it, had an internal freak out. I think the moment I really woke up and I didn't need the coffee anymore was when we see the skeleton at the diner.
Yeah.
When she goes
Just
to pour the
getting some
coffee.
That's how I
that
feel
was
every
it.
day, like that skeleton.
Yes, yeah,
Give me
right.
some
And so,
fucking coffee.
I think he's being referred to as the minor ghost because he's got like mining thing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it was really cool. And that's the part where I was just like, okay, this is like I'm watching Ghostbusters. Not all the ghosts feel like a cartoon. Some of them look legit scary. I love that balance. That's how you know it's Ghostbusters. And then just even how the little car, their little RC racer trap, skidding by the Ecto like BB-8 and all that kind of like it's just cool. It's just man, it's just all like just got me going.
There was just great stuff throughout the whole trailer. So what I did is I got screen caps so we can kind of analyze some of the individual shots and kind of highlight, and they should be in some sort of order, but there was so much talk leading up to this about what is the trailer going to show? Is it going to give away the movie? Is it going to be too much? Because like modern trailers tend to give away too much. And like Jake, we were talking a little while ago about how like you do see a lot and you do learn a lot, but there's still so much we just have no idea about in the best possible way.
Yeah, and it's like they kind of honestly a good maybe half of this trailer is stuff that we've seen from either the mini puffed clip or the first trailer. Just it's all used in a different way or put together in such a just it's so different from the way the first trailer is that it's like you don't care that you're seeing so much of the same footage. I'm glad it's still so secretive and you got to dig for it.
Absolutely. Well, let's start really getting into the meat of it. I want to acknowledge these super chats because everybody's being unbelievably generous. So thank you so much to Ray Esposito from GB Universe News. He says, you guys are the best. Go buy some Nestle Crunch Bars. You earned it. Mosen 2024. Hey, what are you doing?
Thanks, dude.
What are you doing?
Thanks for lunch that one time in LA.
And I'm going to be kind of combing back through the chat to find the other super chats because I want to make sure everybody gets their shout outs because it's super generous. But Chris, I'm going to start with you. Is that okay? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I am going.
No, that's fine. I think I'm a little delayed too, like Ryan is, but
that's fine. We'll cover our faces with images from the trailer, so there's no more delay. Okay, nice. So one of the first shots that I grabbed was this our first look at the diner Spinners, where seemingly Celeste O'Connor's character Lucky is working. Chris, you talked a little bit about these type of roller. What are they called? Roller diners? Is that a thing? You kind of had like a personal connection to it. I remember you talking about it last time.
And Chris is gone.
Sorry, I'm here. I was actually, I muted so I could turn and tell my wife to where she could go find us on YouTube. So
okay, I was like,
oh, we got another watcher.
Yeah, she was like, I was just curious, and I was like, well, it's in my headphones. You can't. So I just,
if she wants, she can drop some money in the super chat and ask.
All right. So what did you say? What did you ask? Sorry.
Well, I remember you talking specifically when we did this on Ghostbusters Day about the roller diner.
Yeah.
And your personal connection to that. So I don't know. This image is pretty striking. It's Jason in his breakdown talked a lot about the color palette they're going for and kind of trying to recreate the feeling of the original movie. But this is pretty bright and I don't know. I just want to kind of pick your brain on it.
Pick my brain about drive-ins or color palettes.
Chris, just fucking talk about I'm giving you a different picture. There's a diner in the movie.
All the colors that you see there are the same colors that are on the Ecto for one thing, so it is reminiscent of Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I like this one.
The blue, the red, and also the fact that the steak sign is like half lit and it says Saks is great. Like That's a joke right there.
Yeah,
right. But then we get this. This is fun. This shot of the house early on, like clearly the house that seemingly Egon moved to is a major part of this story. And Chris, would you?
I love that house, by the way.
I'm going to give Chris another chance. Chris, do you want to talk about this house, or do you want me to give you a new image?
Sorry, what did you say? I wasn't paying attention. No, we talked about this house last time. And actually, I'm always impressed when they build a house from scratch. That's always impressive enough. But when they do it twice so they can shoot interiors on the stage, which is something Jason talked about, I'm even more impressed at that point. The house is good. We've seen a lot of the house. We've seen a lot of the inside of the barn. It's later on that it feels like there's a lot of the farm we haven't seen yet. We still don't quite understand the shed and the access to the lab, which I'm kind of curious about. We saw more of the Caddy junkyard that was quite obviously Ray's parts cars. And what I want to piggyback what you were talking about with Jacob there. Jason keeps saying this is a movie about family, and what I kind of realized watching this trailer, and it's got nothing to do with any specific shot, it's about the trailer overall, is that for everything we did see, and I don't know how much you guys want to get into it, like some of that last shots in the mine and all that sort of thing.
We want to get
that's some huge reveals, Ghostbusters wise.
Yeah.
But the mysteries that haven't been resolved are all the family mysteries.
Yes.
Like it feels like we're going to get up to the movie and we're going to be fairly well informed about all the Ghostbustery stuff and still have a lot of questions about who did what and when and why and all this in terms of the family, which I kind of thought was great, because any other movie, I don't know that they'd be building it up for us to care about the characters in the family portion, and we'd all be debating, the Ghostbustery stuff.
Right.
And Jason, so Jason, and it's what I realized when I was watching Jason's stuff. So the shot you just put up there, where he's talking about, we tried to make the roof kind of reminiscent of the Ecto and all that. He happily talked about a lot of Ghostbusters specific stuff, a little bit of family stuff, and in the trailer, the shots that we saw Janine. And she talked. We know there's a granddad, and Janine shows up, and I guess Ray's at the end. That answers nothing about
Right. We don't know the relationship.
the Ghostbusters personally, right? Like, we have no idea.
Right.
So you watched it, and you're like, oh, they showed us everything, and then you're like, actually, we didn't learn the important stuff yet. So,
well, and then Jason takes it one step further in his commentary and is like, Janine cared for him in his old age, and you're like, that didn't help me at all, Jason.
At all.
Nah.
Because guess what? Wives do that. Friends do that.
Right.
It didn't answer anything. So,
yeah.
Now, if you want me to go back and talk about neon lights again, put the drive-in in, and I'll see what I can help you out with.
Nobody cares about my big
Wow.
speech.
Craig, should we talk about that it starts on a dialogue scene? Like that this big trailer for a big tentpole starts with like two people talking at a table.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's still Jason Reitman. I want all talking in this movie.
Playing to their strengths. Like Jason's playing into the characters. Eric Steelberg, we're looking at these beautiful pictures and we're seeing amazing cinematography. That's right
I'm
out
just
of the
hoping
gate.
someone
like the first
talks
10
in
seconds.
jail.
Yeah, there better be a jail scene. They all better get arrested at some point. Jake,
I will say, sorry, the opening shot of Drumheller. Drumheller's never looked better. Drumheller at ground level is kind of dusty and hot. So that water tower shot, which is, I think, possibly one of the earliest things we ever saw from this movie, like in the teaser and all that.
Yeah. There.
Anyways.
It's interesting, Troy, what you were saying. The you start with this conversation between Callie and Mr. Gruberson, right? So classic. We've seen this play out before in movies, like the single mom, the teacher. Oh, we're having problems with the student. We better go to dinner and figure it out. We know what's going on.
Oh, you taste like burger. I don't like you anymore.
Yeah. But Jake, what did you think specifically of opening up with, learning a little bit about, like, hey, Abby mentioned it earlier. We've got McKenna Grace's character, Phoebe. They call her nerdy. Mr. Gruberson's like, hey, she's a geek. She's getting picked on and she's weird, but like kids are weird. Like she'll be fine.
Yeah, and her mom's like, well, she kind of keeps to herself. I don't know as much about her.
Right, exactly.
Which builds that mystery even more about what we're going to find out.
Jake, did you have any impressions about that?
I mean, not much more than what you just said, but yeah, it's interesting as far as a trailer goes to be a second trailer for a big, just like what you were saying, Troy. It's the second trailer for a big tentpole film, and it's just like there's talking. You never see a proton pack other than the one that's attached to the Ecto. You never see anybody in a jumpsuit, which we're all I thought this trailer was just going to be full of that stuff, and that was why I almost didn't want to see a second trailer. And then none of that's in there. It's like still like it's still sort of like an artsy, like, let's have a conversation. Let's talk about being Ghostbusters, but we don't need to show it yet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stylistic. The things that were edited out that weren't shown, or like make it even better, in my opinion, and like more satisfying to not know and to be able to have questions, like we're saying.
We get this shot in the trailer. This is an image we've seen before of, it's a black and white photo. It's probably just an on-set photo. I mean, if you notice, Harold Ramis has a cigarette in his hand.
Look at this photograph.
But I mean, this is the kind of stuff in the trailer that just starts like it's so clever, a way to show the connection to the original without showing too much of the original guys or any of it, with these little clips, these little audio clips, and like in Egon's house, he had this picture of the four guys. Like that's John Yerkeba was talking today about how it's a nice sentimental thing. Maybe you wouldn't expect that from Egon. And this is where I think, see Janine for the first time. Ryan, walk me through. What are your thoughts? Were you crying yet?
I was not crying yet, but it's definitely a heart tugger because it's the guys, and they're all like, I don't know. It is just one of those moments. They're all just together, and it kind of shows you right there that he hasn't forgotten where he came from. He kind of remembers the good times they had and the friends they made along the way, being Winston. And it was nice seeing a group of the 4 guys together with Winston, because that's a rare treat.
Yes, it was nice. Ernie Hudson's going to be all over this movie. Notice in the cast, they have Ernie Hudson and Annie Potts listed as Build cast members. I thought it was brilliant, and I want to cut to Abby on this one. I thought it was like, it never even dawned on me, who are they going to show from the original cast? And it was Janine, and it was like, it was so perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, talk about, and like the dialogue that she had talking about how he could barely keep the power on. I think she said about Egon, like your grandfather had some issues, and seeing that he's got like this picture of the guys.
It's so funny.
Thank you. It's true. He does. And obviously that's passed down. If Phoebe is related, like it obviously is, then she's gonna have some issues with like socialization and being friends with people, and that you see that in the trailer, and then knowing that Egon and his relationships with these guys like obviously meant so much to him,
right?
And he, even though he's got a lot of shit going on, he's kind of holed up in his home,
even though he's like in Oklahoma trying to prevent the end of the world and the second coming of Gozer, while Ray's busy running his
my friends.
bookstore.
Holiday season.
And whoever wants to speak to it, I mean, Annie Potts looks great. Janine is the best. Here's my first point. Like, Chris and Troy, you've talked about this a lot on your show, whether or not, we knew Janine was going to be in the movie, but we didn't know if it was good. Like, how do you fit Janine into this movie? And it's like, well, maybe her, maybe Callie's her mom, but I didn't get that vibe from this trailer. I kind of got the vibe that Janine was a friend and maybe a caretaker for Egon, which is somehow even more heart-wrenching than...
because watching Ghostbusters last night in bed, watching the scene where Egon pops up from under the desk, and
he was her caretaker.
He was taking care of her. Technically, just taking care of her.
Here's the thing. Sorry, go ahead, Abby.
No, you're done. There's obviously a connection. That's all I'm saying.
I think we can put to bed the idea that all you Egon Janine shippers, G-Gon.
You G-Gons.
You got your G-Gons.
If your husband dies, what are the chances you're just handing the house over to the kids? I mean, there is that slim chance that, my daughter's down on her luck. Here's dad's crappy old house in the middle of Oklahoma. You can live there while you get back on your feet. But the whole thing feels a hell of a lot more like usually it's like, well, here's my house now, kids. It'll be yours one day when someone survives a death in a couple. So, this is one of those great questions about the trailer. Why is she there? Like she's in Oklahoma. Did she follow him out there? Did he not get married? He had the kids. Is she? Maybe we just find out Janine leveled up education wise. Maybe she went and got a law degree. Maybe she's literally just running, estate probate for after that. But it's almost perfect to put her in there because, I don't know. Annie Potts at any age in any decade with red frame glasses and any sort of weird print outfit.
Oh, it's
perfect.
Great.
It's
perfect. Right. She may even be there trying to find out what's going on herself.
By the way, it's Jason Reitman. We might get a 20-minute scene of Janine just doing paperwork, and it'll be great.
It'll be awesome.
Jake,
jumping to the end, also, and outfits, though, because it links into Janine's outfit. I didn't realize that Ray's sweater that he wore at Ray's Occult would actually kind of have imprinted itself on my brain. So all we saw was just a little touch of arm and sweater, and we're like, it's Ghostbusters 2, right? Perfect.
A little touch of arm with a little something on the arm too.
Ghostbusters 2 confirmed. Deal with it. I thought it was going to be the Statue of Liberty in the back of the barn, but that's not what it was. So, Jake, we got a super chat, but then I'm going to go to you for your thoughts on Annie Potts popping up in this trailer.
Potts thoughts.
Ghostbusters World Hub. Could Janine be the executor of Egon's will? Sure.
Executor.
What I call it?
Executor.
That's actually
did Janine execute Egon? Is what I'm asking.
That's actually exactly what I was actually gonna say. That was my thought too. That maybe she was just the only one that he kept in touch with. So.
Yeah,
and she's talking to like the estranged daughter who didn't know her father at all. Like, is that all he left me? No, he left you much more. Like, that's the executor right there.
Hey,
Yeah.
I forgot about that part.
Also, she knows Egon's spirit lives in that house.
Yeah.
I got that feeling that she's like, when she's like, no, there's much more.
Yeah.
She fucking knows that Egon's pointing lights and showing Phoebe where to get the trap out of the floor and shit. She's in on it.
And
I think so
I'm
too.
with Jake on this one, because the question I've been asking since the early thing is, if you have a basement lab and you leave your PKA meter there, your proton packs, all your equipment, why the hell is a trap puzzle hidden in the floor of the house you lived in? What is special about that particular trap? What's in that trap that you can't just leave
What's
it
in
the
the
basement
trap?
with all the other
trap? I think
What's
it's
in
a
the trap,
spectral
right?
terror dog.
I think it's a spectral terror dog.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
I think it's a sentinel.
Gruberson lets out.
It's
Yes.
a Sentinel. It's a Galactus.
But
It's a
here's the
HasLab.
thing. It's
a
HasLab. Here's the thing. The puzzle means it has to be smart enough to find it. If it's dangerous, if it's dangerous, if it's got a terror dog in it, you dig a big pit, you throw it in there and cover it in concrete. Then nobody ever gets at it and has to worry about it again. So the terror dog one is good because I'm not going to say no to it, because obviously we see one later on running around and all that. I'm a little suspicious though of why it got hidden with, and like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're trying to draw this line between granddad was a genius and the granddaughter is a bit of a nerdy genius herself.
I think
So
Egon was maybe
what you put
partaking
in a
in some
trap-
herbal supplements later in life and was like, where are we going to put this trap?
Chris,
It's gonna
Chris,
be in a
I
new
think-
spot.
I think there's a little more to it than that. I think maybe the trap is hidden that way because he moved to a town of possibly full of Gozer worshippers.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, a Ghostbuster just moved here. Somebody who, like, I feel like maybe it's hidden from the wrong hands. Like maybe if it does have a spectral terror dog, if it does have a terror dog in it, and that terror dog is needed to to bring Gozer back, he's got to hide it from them, but he maybe still needs it for something. I don't know.
Exactly. That's the question. Why do you leave it so that somebody that comes after you who's smart enough to undo the puzzle, what do they need it for?
They need it, or is it protection? Of his space?
Is it? I mean, if it's literally just if it's a key you're trying to keep, well, there we go. We know that terror dog possessions are lock and key to bring back Gozer, sort of thing. So if you get your hands on the lock or the key, sure, you hide it. But for what reason then? And actually, this feels pretty good too. It's just, it leaves us with one of those mysteries. Why do you leave it so somebody who's smart enough will find it after you? Like, if it's the lock and key, why aren't you doing the metaphorical equivalent of throwing it in the ocean where it'll never be found again?
Jake, throw it in the ocean.
No Gozer.
Barrett Wells says, I'm all in on the spectral terror dog and the trap theory. It looked like it was above Rudd's car, and I think I remember a trap being on the hood. Yeah, and I also get the sense that a lot of this stuff we're seeing in the trailer is this first 20 minutes of this movie. Like, I think things are going to get, well, not first act of the movie, going into the second act. I think we're not seeing much of what's to come, right? Like,
well, are we not
seeing that mind?
I don't know.
Seeing those statues.
So we can get into it. You know, we had discussions today about, listen, they're in this mine, right? But when they're in that mine, like, it seems like it's the four kids down there. They're not wearing flight suits. Like, this is the discovery phase, right? Now, one thing, this was pointed out, when they're in the mine and shit's hitting the fan, I think you see a Gozer statue. We're going to take a look at it in a second. But you hear a voiceover say, "Oh my God." Go back and listen to it. 95% sure that that's Sigourney Weaver. Like, it sounds just like her.
What?
Oh,
My
interesting.
Dana Barrett?
It's
I
hard.
thought that was.
It's
I
hard.
thought that was Carrie Coon.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, but it does sound like I when I got home, I turned it on the TV and turned it up, and it sounds a lot like Sigourney Weaver, but it also sounds like it could be Finn Wolfhard. It's hard to tell, but it's definitely not
somebody
from that scene. It's definitely cut and added in there.
Let me go to my next image because I do want to get into the. So one thing we were talking about today a lot in different groups was. What is the threat in this movie, right? Like we know about Shandor Mine. We know that there's probably like Gozer worshippers, and the second coming of Gozer maybe is part of this. But I don't think they're going to be. I don't think it's going to be them versus Gozer again. At least not at the end of the movie. Like there seems like
what? Sorry. Okay.
You don't think that, Craig?
I think Gozer's involved because we see them in the trailer.
Gozer's in this movie. Just
Sure.
say it.
Yeah,
Gozer's
there's a
in the
flat
trailer.
top statue.
Show it.
We saw that.
But what I'm saying is, no, I want to show you this
There
first.
he is.
You're saying that the villains could actually be personal isolation, not being connected to your family, some sort of like
No.
high level.
No. I'm
Okay.
saying that you got to up the stakes. There's always a bigger bad. Does that mean we see Ivo Shandor show up in some sort of spectral form? Maybe it's like, hey, the second coming of Gozer is great, but wait till you meet, I don't know, Matthew.
Right.
the new big bad. I don't know. Anyways, I did want to show this picture real quick. This was a really cool shot. It's that barn scene. I love that they refer to the Ecto one as a station wagon. I thought that was hilarious.
No, the family. It's the family. It's the family wagon.
It's the family wagon. It's Harold Ramis directing Vacation.
This is a little. This whole scene is kind of edited out of sequence because if you tell, like he's wearing, you can see his sleeves here.
Yeah.
But whenever he's talking to Phoebe, he doesn't have. He's got it like maybe down. He's just wearing a white shirt in that scene. So this is all kind of edited probably from a couple different scenes of him messing with the car.
Definitely not the GB2 flight suit though. Confirmed it's just gray coveralls.
Yeah.
Because it's got the little
sadly.
Right, sadly. All right, we can move on. If anybody wants to chime in by the way, thank you, Jim Mariotto, for the super chat. And thank you, Adrian Barra, for a super chat. He says, have you seen the international trailer? It shows more of the underground temple. I saw some screenshots of it, but I haven't had a chance. I think there's some alternate shots in there, which is really cool. Maybe we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Okay. Let me get my bearings. And as we go through these screenshots, anybody who wants to chime in on anything, I kind of have them in order, but not super in order. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so I love these shots in the trailer. So this is Phoebe on YouTube watching old Ghostbusters clips, which is exactly what I do.
And you're on YouTube right now, everybody. This is very meta. Unbelievable. You are on YouTube watching us watching a trailer on YouTube of them watching YouTube.
Inside the computer.
Wow.
And now I can't make out the other. Some people were looking into these other clips on the side of the video. I think especially later, and there's some funny stuff in there.
I hope one of them is us. I hope we get the movie. We're like, oh, cool. There's a YHS video over there on the side.
Let's go to the next one.
I think the thing that Adam Savage has been hinting at for a while kind of got revealed in this trailer.
Yeah, he's in one of them. One of them's 100%. Adam Savage. Adam Savage.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody! Look at this shot of Egon.
Seems that way, right?
I think so, right? I don't know.
Let's analyze this. So there's this shot.
Talk about it.
There's this shot in the trailer of a hand holding a PKE meter, and I think it's safe to say they're wearing a lab coat, and that it's either Ready to Believe You Ray, Ready to Believe You Peter, or Ready to Believe You Egon of Maddie Collector fame.
Yes.
Maddie Collector knew all along.
Abby,
it will mean something.
I want everybody's thoughts on this. So I'll start with Abby. We'll go to Ryan next. What do you think?
Who do I think it is? I mean, any of those. It could be any. We were saying that it's Peter for sure at first. That's definitely a Bill Murray shot. That's Bill Murray's hand.
We know Bill's hand.
We don't know who it is. It could be a flashback to Egon. I would say that would probably make the most sense. That's what I'm going to go with.
Okay. Ryan, what do you think?
I kind of with Abby on this one. This could be the cold open where we see Egon die.
I don't think they're going to show. They're not
No,
going
I'm
to
just
torture
kidding.
us
We're not
that
going to
much.
see Egon die. I honestly think it's one of the. I think it's either Ray or Peter, and I think it's one of the guys, and I think they're grabbing it and they're going to be like, okay, let's check this house out, because at some point they got to show up, right?
Okay, that's true too. Chris,
it should be pointed out in that short of a shot, and this certainly is a nice. I don't think it's a deliberate nod to the original movies, but that we're watching a clip of somebody taking the PK meter out of a drawer. It runs backwards just as nice as somebody putting a PK meter away in a drawer. So
interesting. Okay,
for those everybody thinking maybe this is a flashback, Egon it could still be
right
live, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the thing is like, there's been speculation of I think it's safe to say we'll see Egon in some form in this movie, whether it's spectral form, flashbacks. We know Troy,
a fucking lamp,
a lamp,
a photo with his friends.
Give me Plasma Series
I
Egon
lamp. I love lamp.
That's what I was about to say.
Troy, what were your impressions? You're a filmmaker of some kind, aren't you? Tell me what you think.
It's I know nothing. Yeah, I mean this is very obviously they're obscuring to get us to talk exactly the way that we're talking right now. So it is a very shadowed, very contrasty shot, and I think we're doing exactly what that shot is supposed to be doing right now.
Right. It's
That's
not
all I can
Phoebe.
say.
It's not Phoebe.
It's not Phoebe.
It's
Yeah.
not Phoebe.
We'll
But I do
see
love
about that.
I do love that shot. One thing I noticed, like Celeste O'Connor and Logan Kim are both in the trailer, but not much. The focus is definitely on the family. Focus on the family. That's not what this is.
Different.
That's a different
Very
thing.
different.
Okay, so does anybody want to talk about that shot anymore? Or
Well,
can we...
I just want to say that during this, once you reach this area of the trailer, something that's happening that they did very well in the first trailer is that we're getting this really beautiful swell of music over a bunch of scenes while listening to the original Ghostbusters talking. And that is
I hope that's the
the
whole movie.
most effective thing
It's the original recipe.
ever. Like, I know you said it earlier that's a good way to like show that this is connected to the original universe without giving away the new guys, but like having that like commercial from the first film playing over these scenes, this little chunk of the trailer is just like it's the most like heartwarming thing. It just feels amazing watching this part of the trailer.
I like that. You guys listen, Jake, you got a little bit of a reputation sometimes as maybe being a little bit like, I don't know.
Me?
Yeah.
But you want to talk about Mr. Positivity today. I'm telling you.
It was a good
Positivity
trailer.
It's a
goes
great-
so far.
It goes so far.
Just
Okay.
wait.
Yeah, only goes.
It only goes so far. All right, so next up we've got this. That's the same shot. All right, so next up we've got Carrie Coon. Now on Ghostbusters Day,
Carrie Coon and Egon.
Carrie Coon and Egon, 40-watt soft white light. So there was speculation about this when they put up the Pass the Proton Pack trailer vignette on whether or not the light behind Carrie Coon was actually moving, or if it was a part of the movie, or if it was like a behind the scenes shot with just like a dude moving a light. So Chris, you seem to have some strong feelings about at least I think you were saying this earlier about, you and Jake were talking about Egon's presence in the house post him passing away. Do you buy that Egon is giving hints and clues here, or some in some manner, or do you think there's maybe the house just is haunted? Maybe that's why Egon moved there. This would be a great place to catch ghosts. The haunted house.
Haunted would be interesting because it gives us a real-time interaction with Egon. Although I think that comes with a lot of really big hurdles to get over, right? Like, Harold Ramis is not with us. So if you're going to do Egon Comes Back, what are you replacing it with? And how are we going to not look at it and go, well, that's just fake special effect Egon. That we're not connecting with it. The other way to go is even if he's not haunting the place, he did anticipate a future, and like the puzzle in the floor is a good example of. And let's be honest here. I actually almost prefer. I think it's weaker to be a Ghostbuster, pass away, and then you're a ghost. It's something I never really liked about the old Bill Murray will never be back for a movie unless he shows up as a ghost. I was like, well, that's a little weak, a little on the nose that a Ghostbuster.
You mean the comic role of a lifetime?
Oh,
but
boy.
I like the idea that it really flexes Egon, who is not present, as the genius behind the Ghostbusters. We see little bits of it, like he was always the smartest guy in the first movies, but we only see it in terms of the equipment he made and his understanding of, the ghosts and all that. Imagine that they lay out a thing where he's smart enough to envision decades down the line, somebody's going to come along. And he may have even dialed in on my granddaughter. Like, we don't know when he passed away, so he may have had a sense of watching the first, dozen years or 8 years of his granddaughter's life from afar, going, she's pretty bright too. I'm going to start preparing things. So I almost like the idea that he's not haunting the place literally, but that he is such a genius that he prepared for a future that he's
in
not
the
there
event
for.
something happens to me that I'm ready. Yeah, I like that.
Right?
How is this? How is any of this real? This conversation seems so fake.
Right, because I'm speculating like, from the other side, is he somehow manipulating things? Like, is that what's going on? Like, yeah.
Well, speaking, okay, I saw the movie in theaters when it came out, so I think that's part of my dazedness today. Yeah, thank you very much. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
What are you, M. Night Shyamalan?
But I'm with you, Craig. Like, how is this happening? How is this possible?
Beach.
Right?
The beach.
Yeah, I mean that's what I keep coming back to today is that this is not the movie that Sony was trying to make for the last 30 years. They were trying to make Men in Black 3 and Evolution and 21 Jump Street and just get the hottest 4 comedians, whatever that means, and go
plug it into the
give
formula.
them proton packs. And this is not that. There's only Jason Reitman who can get away with making this movie, which just happens to be what I want to see more than. There was some, there was a lot of Twitter takes today like, isn't Ghostbusters supposed to be funny? I was like, no, it's the most serious thing that's ever existed. Shut up. I hope I don't
it's
laugh
a documentary. In case you didn't know.
And there's funny in the trailer too that people are looking the other way at for some reason.
It's hilarious.
But and in the sequence, the mini puff that gets the umbrella through its head, like all right,
Troy, we didn't plan that. But look at this.
Segue.
Look at that.
But no, speaking of funny though, like you don't hire Paul Rudd to be in a serious movie about Ghostbusters.
Jamocha.
Yeah.
Right? Like you just don't. And he's got that similar kind of like comedic style of like Aykroyd and Murray as well. Like I think he's going to fit right in.
Yes. Absolutely.
Tony Taylor, super chat. Thank you, sir. He says there was life before the trailer, and then there's life after the Afterlife trailer. Afterlife. By the way, I got to tell everybody about Tony Taylor. He is the famous person who sent us all these great resin slimers. He's got these mini ghost slimers he's making. He made that mini puffed. We showed it off last week. He is exclusively offering free shipping on his mini slimer store, TonyTaylorToys.com. Check it out. Free shipping exclusive to YHS folks. He's a great guy. We're going to work with him and do some stuff. He made these mini versions of the Kenner Green Ghost. They're amazing. I love mine.
And we're not saying there's going to be a lamp at some point, but there
making
might be a lamp.
Another super chat. Thank you, Jim Mariotto. There's a laptop behind the puzzle. Egon's on CD-ROM. There it is. They're shipping Egon in the mail. One thing I thought about.
Encarta, but Egon.
I got the Alfred disc.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
The McGregor's disease. So, Violet Ray Steele kind of went dark right when this movie went into production. I have a feeling she did a lot of consulting. I think they wanted to make sure, as we talk about what Egon's presence and what Harold Ramis's presence will be in this movie, I know they wanted to show reverence and respect to his legacy. So I have a feeling that she was, I don't know, on set or whatever, but a consultant on a lot of stuff, right? Because he's the
MacGuffin of the movie. It seems like you need to know like the ins and outs and details, and I think that
he's a Mary Sue.
Egon's a Mary Sue.
Yes, but let's Troy. You mentioned that I lost my image here, but you mentioned this the comedy, right? We see the mini puffs again. And we got a new shot of them. It seems like something crazy is going down in this Walmart. Don't mind me as I try to find this picture.
In most Walmarts.
In most Walmarts.
Like, I already love Walmart, want to go to Walmart, go there all the time. It's just making me more excited to see it in a
I want to buy toys.
Movie.
I want to buy toys right now. I'm mad that I'm not at Target right now. I can't find the picture. I've lost my place. But basically,
going through everything.
I've screwed it all up. We got a new shot of the mini puffs, and one of them's holding like a little tiki umbrella, and it's the cutest thing of all time.
Adorable.
It's hilarious.
That shot you showed of the Ecto,
boy.
I loved that they. What?
Sorry, I keep putting up the wrong picture. I don't know how to do this. What is life?
Okay.
Chris, go for it.
I love these images.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
I like that the car drive without the remote control trap fed it to us in the teaser and got us super excited, and then ran it for us again when the effects team had finished what they needed to do, and we got excited all over.
Well, Jason talked about that. Jason talked about that in the behind the scenes thing today. Like he said it took him the whole shoot to film this chase scene, and I've wanted to see a car chase in a Ghostbusters movie my whole life. Jake, you're on record saying is the best part of Answer the Call was that night shot of the Ecto-1 screaming by.
It is.
We want to see
it.
It
is, yeah.
But while I figure out my images, we got another super chat. Ray Cameron says, the biggest mystery in the trailer, why are they using HP and Dell laptops in a Sony movie? Yeah. There's a good amount of product placement in this 2.5 minutes. There's Doritos, Walmart. I think there's a PS5 in there somewhere. I love it.
Loving it.
So let me get back to our breakdown here. By the way, thank you everybody for tuning in and hanging out with us on a Tuesday night. There's a lot of people watching, so thank you guys. The Ghostbusters community is foaming at the mouth for this film. So next up, it's going to be Janine again. There it is. Yes, there's our mini puffs. So you got. I like the jelly bean one. Yeah, he's like
one looks like he's choking on a fucking jelly bean.
He's gonna launch it.
One thing Jason pointed out in the vignette today was that they don't feel pain, but they do want to kill each other.
Yeah. It makes it like more exciting.
And they don't mind being killed.
Yeah, it's part of their whole thing.
And he did compare them to gremlins as well, which I thought was
gremlins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun, mischievous.
Give me a scene in a movie theater with 5,000 mini puffs watching Ghostbusters 2. That would
give me mini puffs versus gremlins.
Yeah. Okay, so Chris, Troy, Jake,
here we go.
Abigail, Ryan. Again, this is like Ghostbusters video game territory where it's like really getting into some of the lore of what's going to happen to what's going to be happening in this movie. So Chris Stewart's once again, what is he doing? He's leaving me super chats while I'm talking here. Check email, sent international stills. Thank you. We'll do that. I probably shouldn't have read that out loud. Okay. Ryan, let me start with you this time. This is the inside of this mine. It's kind of hard to make out a little bit, but it looks like the four of them are on one of those, when you go to a theme park, that little bucket that takes you all around? Like they're on like this mine ride.
Actually,
this is a ride.
This is exactly what I thought of, was an amusement park ride. This reminds me of something you would like. You'd be on a doom buggy.
Yeah, it feels like a line for the Mummy ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like this totally is what this feels like, and now that's what I want, and I'm expecting Universal to build it for me. But this is like super cool because they're like we're seeing giant statues of Gozer, how we remember Gozer, and I think that's pretty badass.
And you got the
Yeah.
pterodogs off
I
to
like-
the sides. The what are they called? The sentinel
Sentinel.
pterodogs or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can see the pyramid in the background there from the doors from the rooftop.
Yeah.
temple, which was a nice.
Yes.
And I
Yep.
love this
Nice
color
Art
palette.
Deco, very nice.
Yes.
Yeah, I see that. Yes.
I love the Sentinel Pterodogs, like the Pterodog like upright guards or the statues are so
Yeah, it's
hilarious.
like a minotaur mixed in with like an Egyptian god.
Yes. Which is how a lot of people describe Yes Have Some podcast. A lot of people don't know that. Okay, so let's talk about this. Chris, earlier when I said I didn't know if Gozer was going to be the big bad, you started screaming at me. So let's break this down. Let's break this down.
I wasn't screaming at you. I was spluttering in frustration. Is what I was doing.
I know.
There's a
I heard
very
a rumor
distinct difference.
that
Frustrated
there's not too
spluttering.
many people who've ever read the entire Hellbent script, but I have a feeling there's nothing in there as good as this still image. Just putting that out there.
There's a couple, but that arguably, but nothing. This is fantastic. Yeah, and this is like we were saying before. This is a continuation. Like you can tell that the elevator thing goes up to the mine shaft where they, the kids are just hanging out, and then the ghosts. Like we're starting to be able to piece together more and more of Somerville and the Shandor mines and all that. I don't know. It's weird because just a couple weeks back, over the last couple of months, maybe the Sony, what the hell was the State of the Union video they put out, and then Jason and his dad did that. There was that other clip, and we see him in Video Alley, and you can see behind it, and we were kind of like, oh, that looks like kind of like a temple, and then I guess we'll speculate until the movie comes out. No, here it is.
Right.
This is absolutely amazing. And dialed to 11. Like, let's be honest, the rooftop temple with the Art Deco doors and all that, like, and the story they tell, with like Shandor and the Pterodogs, that was amazing. And now we have like a fully rendered Gozer statue.
It looks practical too,
Yeah.
right? This looks like they built
Yeah.
this.
When is Iron
Like,
Studios gonna make one of these statues?
Yeah, I
When
want
is
this.
Universal Studios going to reopen a live show? It's the
Yeah,
real
I want the
question.
Ghostbusters Afterlife stunt show. That's what I want.
the figures climbing over, like, what is that about? Is that representing the ghosts and the spirits in the like in the portal or that power? Like, it's just I can't wait to see the movie because we're going to see more of it, and I just need to stare at this thing more and more and more.
I'm
It's
curious
exciting
which
already.
came first, the temple at 55 Central Park West or this? Like, did this get built after all the stuff that happened? Or was it being built
Well, I
way in the past?
assume this was after because I feel like when Gozer shows up in the original film, and there's that line where Winston says, "I thought Gozer was a man. It's whatever it wants." I had a sense that like Gozer, it looks like whatever it wants. So that is when Gozer looks like that. So maybe whoever built this or whatever these people are basing. That's a
After the
statue of
event.
Gozer from Ghostbusters.
They're constructing
1.
the
So-
statue, like looking at still images. That looks pretty good. Okay.
Yeah,
GB
they're on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense for people to build a temple to a god they know exists.
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. I don't. Sure.
Yeah.
As
feel like-
opposed to the super rare temples that people build to gods that don't exist. Like,
Right.
Ryan.
Exactly.
Ryan.
I love the idea of an underground temple like this being some sort of, I don't know, a conduit or something I'm very excited to go down there. This is going to be the thing that my brain's obsessing over that I can't wait to see more of.
Right. Yeah.
I'm wondering if at some point we're going to realize that this whole town is, and I know this was, people said this early, but like, could the town just be a bunch of Gozer worshippers, or because it's weird that they would build this temple like in the middle of nowhere. Are they all just living there? I don't
It's
know.
like a commune. It's a Gozer worshiping
a town
commune.
of
Yeah, and
a
perhaps that
town
entire
of fourth
commune passed away.
generation cultists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just your
But then
typical
wouldn't
small
they know
town
that
America.
Egon?
Well,
But they would know that
well,
Egon
Troy,
was the bad guy. That
exactly, but Egon's not around anymore. Meaning, Egon. I don't know. Like I don't. We don't know this yet, and I feel like we're not gonna. It seems weird to say that would be in the movie, but like, I don't
Right.
know.
Real quick, Barrett Wells says, judging by the turn of the last century minor ghost, the mine was operating early in the 20th century. So, yeah, that's also true.
That fits with when the building was built, though, too. I mean, it could literally go either way. He
Yeah.
had built the mine to get the selenium to build the building. Whatever failed there that he wasn't able to use the building retreated to the mine. Or it could be that they started in the mine. You build the statue and go, this is what Gozer looks like. They weren't able to like trigger that one, but that's why at the building Gozer shows up and looks as it does, because they had already chosen the form of the destructor back in the mine.
Right.
Oh, that could make. Yeah, I gotcha.
Oh,
Flip
man.
it.
All the Gozer worshippers work at Walmart.
Can we in the chat, Matt? Matt P.
Gozersofwalmart.com.
I think this might be
Welcome
onto
to
something.
Walmart,
So
I love
Matt
you.
says that the mine shipped the selenium cores to New York City to build the apartment building. Maybe they were mining the selenium that they talk about, the cold riveted pure selenium.
Oh wow.
Right.
So you're
That's a good
talking
point,
about they're all contractors hired to mine
To
the
build.
selenium to build Spook Central. Okay, again, how is this real? This doesn't make any
So
sense.
Somebody said
Where's
Egon
Will
in a
Smith?
trailer. The word Egon is in a trailer.
Yeah, I know. Chris, I got those photos. I'm going to load them up in a second. My computer's being real funny tonight.
I'm just saying that we haven't mayor of Somerville yet, played by J.K. Simmons. He's probably the villain.
So let's go through some more shots here because this trailer is just full of stuff. So once again, does anybody have anything else to say about the inside of the mine, or we've covered that?
Well,
Just give me the play set. I want the play set. That's it.
It depends on what your next photo is.
Give me the
Yeah,
art
are you
book.
going to show
Orion, $5 super chat. Don't forget the Gozerian seals around the town. Yeah, we do know the town is full of Gozer paraphernalia. It's like Ron John Surf Shop. Like when you go to Florida, you just see those things everywhere. That's what this has. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
whoever
Gozer
had the
stuff.
money that built the stuff, put their mark on it.
So this is another shot from inside the mine, and really just a very, very cool shot.
creepy worshippers or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think these kids should be down in this mine, right? This
No,
would-
it's like the body and Stand By Me. They
It's
keep going back
dangerous.
to it. Yeah.
Yes. Jake, do you get any Stephen King vibes from this, from just the overall presentation here?
Yeah, well, I said it in our chat earlier. It feels like any Steven Spielberg actually, or like Super 8. This whole trailer has a very Spielberg / King feel to it, and I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
dude.
not upset about that.
It's subtle too. Like it's in the
Yeah.
color palette. It's that stuff that Jason Reitman was talking about with like the original recipe secret stuff. Like it's
Yeah.
the little details.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Here we go. Look at this.
Oh.
What is this? I think Phoebe goes, maybe it's the apocalypse. I think she's on this.
I think we've seen
She's
this
so
before.
deadpan. Yeah,
Such a good line delivery.
I
so
know.
good.
She's awesome.
She really is great. By the way, everybody, Ghostbusters launched an official TikTok channel, and they did. I haven't checked it out yet, but they did reaction videos from the cast reacting to the trailer, which is cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What's TikTok?
What TikTok? I think that's
I'm
the
scared.
name of the McKenna Grace's friend in this movie. Oh, no, that's podcast.
That's the name of the
figured it
owl.
out.
That's from. Isn't that Wizard of Oz?
Yeah. Does anybody have any? What does this image speak to anybody? Tell me.
It's beautiful.
Well, I will
I
say.
mean, it's.
Sorry, go ahead, Jake.
No, you go ahead. You're good.
Well, I was going to say it reminds me of stuff from the 80s that's the cloud tank photography that was used all the like Douglas Trumbull would do it all the time, where they would put the ink and all sorts of powders and stuff into water tanks and film it at high speed, and that's what you would always see, like the weird clouds and weird vortexes and stuff in movies.
Yeah,
this feels exactly like that, and I bet they probably did exactly that. Knowing Jason Reitman, it was probably a cloud tank, and I bet it was awesome.
It's literally what happens above Dana's apartment in the first film. Like it's the same thing. It's Galactus.
Dude, I'm looking up cloud tanks right now. I love
Galactus is a
learning
cloud.
stuff. Thank you, Troy.
Yeah, no, Troy, I bet you that's what they did for sure.
The one question I would love to ask Jason Reitman is like, any director, even though he's done primarily like more indie style films in his career, the chance to get a bigger budget tentpole movie and then like emulate and lean into all these, filming and directing techniques that he's probably worshipped his whole life, Spielberg stuff, Amblin stuff, whatever. It just must have been such an unbelievable treat. Like, I want to know what is walking on set day one for this movie like compared to walking on set day one for Tully, where there's probably, like a minimal crew and like, we're just using natural light.
Right.
Like, it's just crazy.
It's different.
Just crazy. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Moving on here. There it is.
There it is.
There's the shot. It's been a long night. Gozer's drinking. She wants another one. Ryan, did you realize, I guess we can assume this is Gozer. I'm aiming for the flat top too.
I assumed it was Gozer just from the hair and the arm.
Yeah,
it
that's
looked
not
like
accidental.
Gozer.
And the fact that there's a statue of Gozer right behind it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So
Got those nails.
Yeah, it was no surprise. I do like the.
She doesn't look so nimble here.
I like the pink astral vapor. I don't know what else to call it that comes out. And I know they talk about it as well in the making of the trailer, how they were scanning things from the original movie and putting them into this movie. But this is kind of like the first kind of really good shot, I thought, of all those, like when the ecto containment unit blasts open, and that's what it looks like. And I think that's really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That's that like perfect pink tone, like fuchsia. It's like direct.
Yep.
You just recognize.
Get me
it.
a shirt made out of that.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Give me a shirt made out of 70 millimeter
Out of
film clips.
Yes,
Chris,
please.
Chris, I'm going back to you. What did you pick up on this right when you first saw it, or did you have to rewatch it?
No. I think it was the second time round. Because initially I just thought, it's more of the stuff in the pit climbing out. But that was like 8:30 this morning. Full disclosure, I got up yesterday morning in anticipation of the announcement, and then immediately got to work, getting ready to get on the road. Got home, crashed, and then woke up in the I went to bed thinking, I guess they'll post it around 9, which is what they normally do. No, they posted it at 6, and I was 2 hours behind. So I blurrily watched it the first time and really didn't notice. And it was the second time round. I was like, oh my God. It's the thing where you're watching it back and forth. Like, is that hair the arm has got it's got the weird bubble membrane stuff. Like,
Well, it's got the electrical stuff too that goes along her legs when she jumps.
Yeah.
Right?
The nails. I mean, the only thing missing from this is we don't get to see the high-heeled boots to confirm it. So it's but yeah, this was the bit in the movie where this is what surprised me. And like I said, I was chewing on it all day going, is this a disappointing reveal for us? Was this something Jason would have rather not be revealed? And then I realized, like I said, later on, it occurred to me that this was all fed to us and we loved the hell out of it. And then none of the important questions got answered about, the family.
There's still a lot
or
of
how we got
mystery
to
here.
this, right?
Yeah.
What did they reveal?
Yeah.
Gozer's hair.
More questions.
They gave us Gozer's hair.
Yeah. Yeah, but
As long as there's fast cars and family, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
This should have
The movies.
this should have been in mind shattering to us, because up until this point we knew Gozerians and Shandor was going to be all over this. the fact that we're like, oh my God, Gozer's actually back, should have been a massive shock to us, and I'm loving it. But like I said, I spent so much time looking at it going, was this too much? And yeah, I've come to grips. I don't think it is, but
It's not. Yeah,
I
it
feel like-
parallels. Oh, I'm sorry. Continue.
Oh no! I was just gonna say I feel like Jason wouldn't allow it out there if it's too much. But as closely guarded as he's been, like I don't feel like he would allow stuff that we can't see at this point. Sorry, Abby, I didn't mean to
No,
step
you're
on you.
good. I was just going to bring up how it reminds me of the final episode of Mando season 2, like we were talking about, of like it's something that you wanted to see, and when you see it, your brain kind of
It's
denies
Cal
it.
Kestis coming out of the pit.
Yeah, it's Cal. It's Cal Kestis.
It's Janos.
I think
Why am I covered with goo again?
I think also though, you got to think about it like since we first started seeing any kind of shots from the production or the filming, it was all Shandor and Gozer like symbols. Like we knew it was going to be Gozer.
Yeah.
So it's not a big thing. But it is interesting the way that in any other movie trailer, in any Marvel or Star Wars trailer, that would have been the big reveal at the end. But they were just like, no, just slip it in there real quick in the middle of the fucking trailer.
Artfully.
What we're looking at here is Chris. Thank you for said. There was a couple shots from the international trailer. I believe this is just another shot from In the Mine, but it's a. I think is that the top of one of those Sentinel statues?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what it looks
so,
like.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kind of a closer. I mean, obviously, it looks very much like the Terror Dog statues on the top of Dana's building in the first Ghostbusters.
Well, same architect, so I mean, it makes sense.
Same guy gets around. And then there was another shot that Chris sent over that I have loaded up right here, and it's just a close up. I guess that's the top of the main Gozer statue.
Yeah.
Just awesome. Just
Look at them cheekbones, so
Look
sharp.
at that.
Yeah.
Look at that. I mean, really cool stuff. Really cool to see. There wasn't. I don't think I saw anything else from the international trailers today that was different than from what we got. The last time there was a different stinger on the end with McKenna Grace and Logan Kim.
There's no podcast in this trailer, by the way. You see him for like one frame.
One frame. Enough. By the way, do you guys think a Ghostbusters character named Podcast is going to help or hurt our SEO when people start searching Ghostbusters Podcast?
Only help.
It's gonna help.
These
Don't
T-shirts
know.
with him on
Don't
it.
know.
Right. Okay. So we talked about this. Jason Reitman to recreate these pink swirls from the I Believe It's Magic. Gotta see that trailer. They went back, Troy, they talked a lot about at FanFest how they went into these mines and got all of the original film and combed through it, and they were able to, I don't know, somehow
Extract
from 70 millimeter film the actual animation and repurpose it. Again,
It's astounding. I mean, like that they even found what was probably that first, footage that they then optically printed on top of the shots of New York City, that they were able to find that Boss Films animation and scan that in, and that's awesome. I don't know how they did it.
Someone went through the archives and it was like, what's this?
Yeah, what PKE trails? Who the what? Throw
But
it
the
away.
thing is, it's like-
recycle it.
I don't think this is something like your everyday moviegoer. They didn't have to do that. The movie. It's like, remember the old Egon Harold Ramis clip where he's talking about Ghostbusters 3 and he's like, the world would be fine if there's only 2 Ghostbusters movies. Like, we would
Sorry,
still...
I got a biker gang going by.
Okay, cool. Be careful up there in those mean streets of BC. We would have been fine without that in this movie, right? We wouldn't have known that we missed it, but
seeing it, it's like a feeling of completion. But also, I love how it mimics like the fact that Jason Reitman was digging around, going and unearthing things to make this movie, and that's what's going on in the movie with the family.
Hey, my mom just texted me and said, "Are you going to show the trailer?" Like, no. There's plenty of places to watch it. By the way, Sony was kind of hardcore.
Took it down.
Sony was taking down people's reaction videos today, so like, I don't want this to be taken down.
Good, because they're awful.
I do want to point out, because we were talking about who, asking the question, who does this? Who goes that extra mile to scan all these old effects? In his behind the scenes thing on IGN, Jason made it pretty clear that when they were bringing people on board, they were specifically looking for people who had an understanding and a fan connection with the movie. Like, so starting with him going, I can get access and go find the originals and somehow get them into the movie. It's from the top down. He was like, do you love Ghostbusters? See where you can cram the old stuff in everywhere you can, and let's just go make a movie.
Mhm.
You're going to have to build stuff. You're going to have to dress a room. You're going to have to put people in costume anyways. It's better if you have some knowledge of the original and love of the original. See if you can inform that stuff. So this movie, I think,
there he is.
My boy.
Sorry, Chris.
No, Chris, keep going.
like, no, it's just, this is a perfect example. They just went, we can't do the taxi driver ghost, but we love Bernie Wrightson's design. Let's go back and here's a minor. And that I mean,
They're
it was
still serving him.
100%.
It's a tough
Yeah,
economy.
I love
Needs
that. I love that she's not even paying attention. The side shot, she's just, here you go, whatever.
Can I just do a quick? Because I've been kind of facilitating. Can I
Yes,
do a quick
please.
rant?
Absolutely.
When I see this, and I think about the last Ghostbusters movie, for better or for worse, and I think about the subway ghost in that movie and what that ghost looked like with the electric blue Scooby-Doo kind of aesthetic, and I look at this, I'm sorry, this is what I want in a Ghostbusters movie. And it doesn't take I'm not taking anything away from Answer the Call or Paul Feig or the direction of that movie, but
Yes, you are.
well, I am a little bit. But
You absolutely are. Yeah.
calm down, Ryan Dole. What I'm saying is, look at this. By the way, I've seen this guy at 3 a.m. at Dragon Con. You don't want to mess with him.
I mean,
Well, Craig, you're
Craig, this
right,
guy-
and I mean, sorry.
Go for it, Jacob. Then I'll cut to Troy.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, like, one of the things I said in our episode last night, getting ready for this trailer, was that I was nervous about what these ghosts were going to look like. But this is exactly what I wanted them to look like. One of the things that, again, not to disparage Answer the Call in any kind of way, is that you do want the ghost to be scary. And this is a scary looking ghost. And then there's so much to unpack with just this image. Scary looking thing here. And then all these people who were like, why wasn't there anything funny in this trailer? If you don't think somebody serving a zombie coffee is funny, get the fuck out of my face.
Is there a life before coffee?
Right.
After coffee?
Yeah. Actually, this is just one of the PAs on the movie. They had early call times out there in Calgary.
Use that all night.
Anybody else want to speak on our minor?
Troy
ghost
was
here?
one.
If-
Troy was going to say.
Yes.
If you
Troy,
ever
yeah.
work on a
Yeah,
Marvel
go ahead,
movie
Troy.
in post, that's how it ends.
that's how you look. That's how you look. Yeah.
That's it.
No, I think like Chris really hit something on the head there, talking about in Jason's commentary where he said that they interviewed people before they were able to work on the movie, and they needed to have a love and a passion for the original film and the original techniques of filmmaking. And so you look at that minor and you see that is a creature designer who loved everything that Steve Johnson did, studied all of those creature designs, the articulated puppets, and right down to how they degraded the flesh and everything. That to me, that's a movie that was made. That one shot was passion. Somebody looked at that and was like, I'm going to do exactly what I always wanted to do as a kid, and they're going to pay me for it. Cool. And yeah, that's Arian Tutin, I think is how you pronounce his last name. But Arian is one of those people, like, he loved those creature designs, man.
Ron Daniels with the super chat. The minor is Jarris Whitley at Dragon Con. Yes.
It is the last night of Dragon Con look. 100%. But yeah, it's so great. We're all responding to it so well, I think, because of what you're saying, Troy, which is like, yeah, someone lovingly put all that time into it. It's both scary, menacing, and funny at the same time.
That shot is a nod back to the original Taxi Driver ghost, because that's also a scene of a human interacting with like the dead zombie creature,
Right.
and not
Exactly.
Yeah, not
they're
noticing.
just lightly, just totally not noticing what they're getting involved with here. So I don't know. There's a lot of love. I mean, it's not like I'm not going to watch the hell out of this movie to begin with, but just how many times are we going to have to watch this to dig out every little nuance that they're putting into it?
I've watched the
It'll be
trailer like
awesome,
45
frankly.
times today, and I still feel like I haven't taking it all in, like, because there was
Yes.
it was just a crazy day. There's messages and did you see it? Let's save it for tonight, and it's just crazy.
I feel like
chaos.
the Charlie Day meme. The Charlie Day meme with the wall trying to figure out what the ghost, or not the ghost, the orange cat at the Chinese restaurant is. Like, what is?
Yeah, I was doing
what's the orange
same
cat
thing.
cup about?
By the way, I'm on
Where
record.
can I buy one?
I'm on record as saying the second Force Awakens trailer is maybe my favorite trailer of all time, and to me, this is better. Like, it's just so good. Like, this is my favorite trailer of all time, and also Ghostbusters Afterlife is my favorite movie of all time. I already know it, so fuck it. So this is kind of the extended shot right here that we saw a little bit of this in the first trailer, but we didn't see the spectral terror dog rising above Paul Rudd, and then this is clearly the entity that's going between the buses. When McKenna's on the bus and like covering her ears and everything,
Shattering the windows.
Jake, this goes back into what you were just saying about ghost design. What does this?
They're scary.
Does this
Look
hit
at
the right
mouth
buttons?
on that thing? Yeah, because it's like it is a terror dog, but there's something turned up about it, and just the mouth on this guy, and you can see his like glowing red eyes. It's just like, this is what you want. It's scary. It's not just a blue light, on a floating thing. This
It's not
looks so
Scooby-Doo.
good to me. It's daytime, and we're looking at some terrifying creature that literally looks like it's gonna bite his head off.
Right.
Look at it.
Yeah.
Ryan, what'd you think of this guy?
Oh, he's awesome, and exactly for the same reasons Jake just expressed. I mean, it's just badass looking. He looks like a giant demonic bat.
I hope we get a toy of this.
Yeah.
Hint, hint.
That'd be nice.
So moving on here, I'm back on track with my images. This is a little bit later. I love this. I can't wait to visit. Is this the Drumheller Walmart? Where's this Walmart? I want to go there. I want to recreate this. I want to run away from this Walmart.
You want a Walmart playset?
I don't know that it's the one in Drumheller. I don't recall seeing one in Drumheller.
Okay.
There might be.
So we can safely assume that after interacting with the mini puffs, unless Paul Rudd goes to Walmart multiple times in this movie, that's like his thing.
That would be like, at that point, Jason Reitman was listening to our podcast.
But yeah, it's interesting. The consensus on the original movies, the Terror Dog's incredibly scary. The practical ones looked amazing. The claymation, stop motion stuff, it still looks great. It doesn't hold up as much over the years, but for the time was groundbreaking. But to see a Terror Dog moving in this manner and busting through the window and
like my cat Gizmo, like getting ahead of himself, slipping a little bit.
It's just so great.
Well, what this image says to me is that with the amount of care that they're taking with all the effects in this movie, and you hear Jason over and over talk about how it was really important for them to do practical effects. This is a CGI terror dog, but see a practical terror dog in this movie, and like I'm just already picking what a close up of a 2021 practical terror dog is going to look like, and I get it's so exciting to know that that's coming.
Yeah.
You know what, Jake? You're gonna see it this time.
Hey,
I'm going to see it.
We're in the end game, folks. I talked about it on our episode last night. Doctor Strange. There was 11 billion possible scenarios for this third Ghostbusters movie, and we're in the most unlikely one.
Absolutely. Every decision we've made has led us up to this point.
So, okay, if anybody has anything else to say. Oh, that's what was happening. I had the Janine picture twice. Troy, go for it.
So the CG Terror Dog, I saw somebody in the chat talk about it, that they kind of bumped on it because it was CG, but it's CG meant to mimic the Phil Tippett stop motion photography. So it's kind of cool in the sense that it's something that is new and modern, trying to be something that was a groundbreaking in the 1980s. And I think that's
we're
probably
seeing
why
a
you're
lot of
bumping
that
on it,
now,
'cause
though.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ryan. I want to hear your opinion on this. Please.
Yeah, we're starting to do that more and more. We're getting a lot. Like I've seen that in a lot of like even notes that we just get at work altogether. For those who don't know, I do work in VFX and animation. Like even Rogue One, I remember working at ILM at the time, and they were like making sure that those ships at the end battle moved and were shot, and even had like the textures like the old models. So they didn't.
Yeah.
So they wanted that same timing, that same spacing, that same kind of weathering, that same kind of almost plastic look to it. And we're starting to kind of see that more and more, where now it's like, especially now since everything is like big money is in nostalgia. So they want things to look and feel real. And that's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So, everybody knows what I'm laughing. That's really funny. So let's take a look at this Munch Eric. That is the funniest thing I've ever read in my life.
Good job, Eric.
I just caught up.
Eric Reich says, I thought Ryan was an influencer, not a VFX guy.
Hey, if Eric wants his comments read, he's got to pay up.
No.
Eric's been watching
Now
this whole
he's-
time.
Right.
Eric's gonna be in sad.
So
comment.
listen, this picture of Muncher here, this Muncher picture here, I tweeted this today and tagged One Perfect Shot, and I was like, "You cowards! This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. This is One Perfect Shot. Look at him. Just look at him." By the way, that Muncher meme that went viral a couple months ago with like that weird statue of Muncher.
Yes.
Yeah.
This looks way better than that. Like, this is awesome. Like, I love
It
this
still
so much.
embodies the same like goofiness and like the almost like age, like the wrinkles and like the missing teeth. It's adorable. Like I'm obsessed with this shot.
So Jason talked about it in the vignette that this is kind of the same class of ghost as Slimer, and he kind of talked. Jason Reitman did not dog real Ghostbusters, but I loved what he said. He said over time Slimer kind of became the Firehouse Dalmatian, which is really funny.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like, hey,
Not the original intention here.
Slimer, Green Ghost, Onion Head is scary and menacing.
He's a mean man.
And he's cranky. It's Jim Belushi. Who is this the ghost of? That's what I want to figure out. If the first one's Jim Belushi. I love the design on Muncher. I think he's a worthy update on the Slimer type ghost. And by all accounts, this scene, we see it in the first trailer, we saw it in the second trailer. This looks like it's going to be the most fun a human being can have at a movie theater. And I just can't wait. I really can't wait.
Yeah.
I think that means
I'm
we're
excited.
not even. I was going to say, I think that's probably going to be one of the first. It's going to be the Slimer scene, right? You think it's going to be the first time they take the car out and use the equipment? And I wonder. This is just like
Did I say
speculation.
Jim
but like,
Belushi?
Yeah, you said Jim Belushi.
you did.
So
we're
tired.
just
No,
gonna.
I
we're
meant
just
it.
gonna let it go.
I meant it. This is Jim Belushi. This isn't Jim Belushi.
Okay.
He partnered up
Jim
with
Belushi.
Dan Aykroyd on the marijuana farm, and this is the payment.
Jim
Trying
Belushi
to
is
heal.
listening
Trying to
right
heal
now,
people.
getting so annoyed.
He's like, is it me?
I was just gonna say, this kind of makes me hope that Slimer's just not even in this movie.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
funny. Jessica Parker says $4.99 super chat. I'll pay the tab for Eric's comment. I love that.
Oh my god.
Sweet. Picking up the bill. Hey, can we just real quick? We talk about Jason Reitman. We talk about Sony. Major giant shout out to Ghost Corps and Eric and everybody there, because they are doing something that is just so unbelievable, and it really feels like we're in for. I still don't think we really know what we're in for, but it's the work that they've done, especially through a pandemic, like the adversity. It's crazy. So congrats to everybody.
Yeah, the passage of time they have to fight against,
For
like
sure.
keeping it fresh the way it is now is awesome.
And I've now lost my images, so everyone's going to see everything again. But that's okay. I'm trying.
Let's do it.
Anybody more thoughts on Muncher? There he is.
He's
Look
great.
at that.
That's it.
I also like the
Where's
idea.
the plush?
I love
Where's
in
the plush?
in
Come
this
on.
town. Like in Somerville, like there's always crazy stuff going on because they're all Gozer worshippers. So like this is just that's like a Tuesday afternoon in Somerville.
Another one of those class 5s got out today.
Son of a bitch. Okay, so we
Still
talked.
serving zombies in the morning.
Ryan, you referred to this as the BB-8 scene, where
I did, just because just the way he like skids around the corner, it just kind of reminded me a little bit of BB-8 in like the most fun way. But I love it, and I love how Jason was talking about how how it's still like a team. You got the one kid driving, you got the other one shooting, and you got the other one controlling the RC trap. That to me is just like so awesome because it's still everyone working together. When he was explaining this, I was just, oh man, it was like
John
doing a drug.
Yerkaba's dream.
It's how kids play, and he
Yeah.
played
Yes.
Ghostbusters undoubtedly, like
100%.
growing up a lot.
100%.
Totally.
Yep.
So and then here's the kind of wide shot of this, right? So
Which is great.
this is such. By the way, I don't have the clip obviously, but where they're like gearing up and she presses the lever that releases it. Like, how did they learn how to do this? They must have found like Egon's training manual. Like they had.
Dude,
this-
it's like kids when they pick up an iPhone. They just know what they're doing.
They just know.
Yeah.
it's so.
The lamp
Intuitive,
told
intuitive.
him.
Oh my god.
Jake.
Listen to lamp.
I love
it's the
Lamb.
Pull the
Pixar
lever.
lamp. It's the Pixar lamp. So, by the way, everybody, there's so many people watching. We really appreciate you tuning in. Like, we love this Ghostbusters community. We love our YHS fans. We know there's all the CrossFit people are here. This is just so cool. So we really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Anything more on this before we move on here? I don't know if we're gonna
So
get to
the
the
one thing
toys
I-
tonight, guys.
There's a
I
chance
know,
toys are going to
it's-
have to wait.
But the one thing, Craig, that I like, I love the music and I love the pacing and I love how they structured this trailer. The one thing is, I just really wanted to hear the Ray Parker Jr. theme song for this. Like, I wanted that to kick in for some reason. Like, it felt like it was that moment. And as soon as you saw her like throw that lever down, I thought, here it comes, and it didn't. And I think, like, everybody that keeps talking about how this is predictable, the kids are going to become Ghostbusters Junior, blah 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 blah. Like, they're purposely doing the stuff that we expect. They're not doing that. They're doing the unexpected, and they're steering away from, like, this is where you would hear the theme song. So I thought it was a pretty cool move, actually.
Right.
There was the part of me, the fan, that wanted me to have that moment, but at the same time, they decided to throw me a curveball. And I
Yeah,
didn't mind
like
it.
instead of seeing Peter, you see Janine. It's kind of cool.
Jason
Yeah.
Grossi
Yeah.
says
Refreshing.
the lamp lights the way, and I love that.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do my lamp costume at DragonCon this year.
I love lamp. That's
Tiki
the last
lamp?
line of the movie. Callie, I love lamp. Well, it is Judd Apatow. He's doing Ghostbusters 3, right?
A lamp comes flying out from the Statue of Liberty at the end before the credits.
I saw it.
I saw the theaters.
There it is! Serenity now!
Okay, moving on here. We're almost done, but we're gonna go through a couple images we've already seen. I need to lay.
Go
I
the
did
wrong
this.
way.
I did this last minute. I was so guys. What a day! Look, Janine
What
again.
can you expect? What are you going to do?
Do you know Janine's in the trailer? Okay, so okay, back on track. 1, 2. All right. So next up, this is another shot of. This is the last shot before the stinger, right? They do the whole trailer. It happens. It ends with the ecto, but this time it cuts back, and it's Phoebe watching. We're ready to believe you. New York City, Ghostbusters, 1984. 85,000 views, 226 upvotes, only 14 downvotes. Not bad analytics for their YouTube. But
I was admiring those analytics.
but if you look at the side, there's you got to read the titles of these other videos. For top one, 10 signs the government is run by Shandorians.
Oh,
Hello.
Oh,
conspiracy
Topical.
theories. Yes.
Next one. Where are the Ghostbusters now? I'll tell you, one's got a bookstore. The next one, I'm trying to read it. Proton something with, I don't know. I can't read that. And then the last one is the Adam Savage.
The third one is Megan Ann Ram. She's a YouTuber,
Okay.
Okay.
a YouTuber comedian.
Okay.
Oh, we're YouTuber comedians. Maybe we'll have a little spot.
Very little.
Pixel Dan
Tiny.
hunting Gozer worshippers.
Oh my god.
And then there's also a tax form on behind that. If you see it, 2018 taxes.
Yeah. She's
which
probably on her mom's laptop.
yeah,
Which is another plug for the commercial that Janine did.
Oh my god. Oh my
That's a
god.
TurboTax.
It's
It's a TurboTax.
Oh my god.
Hey, I thought this wasn't a New York movie.
AJ commented 2018 IRS 1040. Thank you, AJ Quick.
Jessica Parker, can you pick up
He
that $5 tip, please?
AJ knows that. It's not even. He didn't have to look it up.
And it does. Ghostbusters World Hub points out it specifically says New York City Ghostbusters. So lots of fun
interesting.
stuff to unpack here, guys.
Yeah.
And Jason Groski points out, says that's Finn, not McKenna. Finn is searching for work, remember, from the teasers.
Oh,
okay.
word.
So, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Good
Yeah,
call.
yeah.
Good call out. Thank you.
All right, so this is the end of the trailer stinger here, and when I tell you this is not something I ever saw coming, Abby, you're like gyrating over there.
like
what are you doing over there?
I'm glad the camera's not showing me right now. That's what I'm doing. I love this image.
So I think we're all gonna have comments on this. There was talk in the fandom on whether or not Ghostbusters 2 would remain canon, but Raise a Cult
Would they
Books-
respect it?
Raise a Cult Books is right here, and then we got another super chat. Oh my God, Blue Chainsaw Man. This episode of YHS Podcast was brought to you by Raise a Cult Books and Himalayan Salt Lamps because there's a lot of them in there.
Yeah, dude.
Chris, I'll go to you. Were you expecting?
Also, you work for us, Blue Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
so.
you're our admin. Quit giving us the thing. Chris, what was your walk me through your reaction to this?
I love that Ghostbusters 2 is contiguous with the whole run. I didn't really have any doubts. I don't know why people were worried that they were gonna
Because people
cancel
are
out
insane. People are
Ghostbusters
crazy.
2.
Because the
I guess
Ghostbusters
so.
2
I can-
symbol or whatever it was wasn't on the
I can
exit.
tell you
And
why,
they didn't
Chris.
Ah,
Because people are dumb.
Yeah, like a company has never changed this logo and then changed back again. So I loved it. I loved immediately the red phone jumped out at me. Yeah, that and the neon sign in the window. Within a fraction of a second, knew where this was going. I didn't notice his arm until it was pointed out later. And then what I love is, his arm is actually like a weird retcon correction of Dan Aykroyd's script writing, factoid filled brain from the first movie.
Yep.
Correcting the whatever you call
Revelations.
it there,
Revelations.
the
quote,
Revelations.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
316.
Yeah, 360. No, it's not the wrestling podcast.
Ray Stance 316 says, "I just busted your ghost."
Tattooed Ghostbusters
yeah.
are canon.
Yes. Yeah,
They
Revelation
used
7:12.
Janine was a stalking horse in this trailer. They put her in there so we had a face from the original movies. But then there's a no face little hint of the original Ghostbusters with this one last shot, which is
Right.
great because again we're now only a handful of months away from this movie and still just dying for more. Like there's stuff that they didn't show us that we want to see, and this is one of them, right? And like I said, just that Ray-esque outfit there that we just briefly see.
And that he's keeping the light on for you, like he's got the shop running still. He's answering the phone even if they're closed.
The light's on for you, but he's closed.
AJ,
Yeah.
hold on, I want to talk to that. AJ Quick says, "Why did he say sorry we're closed? Why didn't he say hello, Ray's a cult? Huh? What Ray say?" So I have a theory about this.
I do too.
I have
yeah,
a
go ahead.
feeling, and Troy, maybe we're going to say the same thing, but I have a feeling the line "we're closed" is not about Raise a Cult Books. I have a feeling Phoebe is calling the
Hello,
number she saw,
Ghostbusters?
and she's looking for the Ghostbusters, and he's like, "We're closed."
Long time ago.
Oh, that's funny.
Was that what you were
That's
thinking,
funny.
Troy?
No, I thought that the sorry we're closed is not answering the phone. It's to somebody who's walking through the door because he's answering the phone and somebody maybe walked through the door and he's trying to say sorry, we're closed to a potential customer, but it may not be a customer. That was my.
It's actually Venkman with
he's
his
not
pal
answering the
Zone.
phone.
Yeah, it's Venkman looking for his magic love potion. He's been looking for it for 30 years. There's a penthouse pet he's trying to seduce.
Magical paths to fortune and power, part 2.
I think it's possible that line could even just be a trailer thing. Like he might answer the phone, raise a cult, and they're just so who knows?
The thing that struck me more than anything is we've been watching Dan Aykroyd do interviews. We've all met Dan Aykroyd. He's been fairly accessible in the community. He's been carrying the banner and the torch for the continuation of the franchise for so long. I watch a Dan Aykroyd video. I watch him every day in some form. But hearing his voice as Ray stands in this trailer just completely got me. And it's still, Chris, you talked about this earlier. We just don't know the circumstances. When in the movie did these guys pop up? What are they? Did the Ghostbusters have a falling out? Is he going to hear about it and be like, well, sorry, but not sorry, kind of like who?
It doesn't even have to be a falling out. Remember, they split ways in the second movie too, just because there was no work to do. Which goes back to nope, there it goes. The thought went.
That's fine. Ask the lamp.
And it's gone.
The lamp will lean in.
It would not surprise me if when you see that scene with Ray, like you were just saying, they went their own ways. Doesn't mean that there's a falling out. Egon moved, whatever. They probably got sued again after part 2. Who knows? But I think it would be funny, and it wouldn't surprise me if you get that whole phone conversation with Dan Aykroyd, Ray, and whoever's calling, and then the camera just pans over and Peter's just hanging out. Like he's there.
Eating a sandwich. That's totally plausible. I love the tattoo thing also. I gave myself a Dan Aykroyd tattoo, which is faded since, which says remove the chair.
Oh, from FanFest. Famous FanFest.
This is his revelation. Yeah, I had to say that. It's faded, so I can't show it.
Yes.
It's my little contribution.
And that, that kind of ended out the trailer. I think that was all my screenshots. Was there anything else we wanted to highlight or talk about? Did we miss anything super important? I think we covered most of the stuff. I mean, I just know my overall feeling is just I'm worn out. I'm exhausted. I've been looking forward to this for so long. And most of the stuff, I mean, I just what is that?
Sorry.
That's my voice.
Total accident. I was trying to make a comment. Not worth it.
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
I don't know. Let's roundtable it. Ryan, what final thoughts on the trailer or any additional thoughts?
Nothing really too additional. I'm excited about toys that are coming out of this. I'm stoked about. I don't know. I'm just excited. This trailer really did it for me. I'm stoked.
Awesome, Jake.
I think it feels like we've said this before, that sometimes it kind of feels like the Ghostbusters franchise is a little bit of an underdog franchise, and that's not being said in a disparaging way or anything, but we're not as big as Star Wars or Marvel or anything like that. And to get something like this that feels like, I don't know, the best case scenario, what I would have wanted out of a trailer, this was somehow better than that. That's a good thing. So I'm excited to see more of this immediately.
Right. Troy?
Yeah, I think, Craig, you compared it to The Force Awakens, that second trailer, and this really felt like that to me too, where it was like, you watch this and you go, that's Ghostbusters. Like, it feels like Ghostbusters. The tone is Ghostbusters. Everything just reads correctly. And for all of the things that were not in the trailer, whoa, Craig just disappeared and came back. That was cool.
I'm having major...
Craig's a ghost.
Sorry, my quality just dropped, but look, I'm not...
Oh, there's the lamp. The lamp is talking to us.
The lamp is talking to us. My computer's been lagging, so I just moved to my... Anyway.
Nice.
I like it over here. It's good.
Keep going, Troy. Sorry about that.
But anyway, the things that were not in the trailer, that people asked if we thought Bill Murray would be in the next trailer, or why we didn't think he was in this trailer, and it's like, unless the studio pressures them, pulls their ears to put Bill Murray in a trailer right before the movie comes out, I think that they want to wait. I think they want that to be a big moment on screen when you see any of these guys, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, whoever else ends up showing up, like Janine does. Like, I think they want it to be special, and they want it to be a moment that you don't get spoiled by a TV spot while you're watching a rerun of a show.
Right.
So I really hope that this is kind of the last thing we see, to be completely and totally honest. Like, I want to go from this to the movie right now,
Chris,
as fast as possible.
Chris, before I go to you, one thing that really struck me is, like, there's been kind of this thought, like, when does the original team show up? Is it halfway through? Is it the third act? Is it the last 5 minutes? Clearly, we're going to see Janine early on in the movie. So I don't think, some people are like, are the original 3 Ghostbusters going to show up in the Ecto-1A all together? And I'm like, no, Ray's going to be on an airplane with George Clooney, confirming the Jason Reitman film universe. Like, that's what's going to happen.
Being told how to pack a suitcase. Yeah, I love it.
I think it's going to be staggered. I could see Ernie Hudson showing up if Ernie and Annie Potts both have billing on the poster. Maybe Ernie Hudson shows up earlier in the movie. Maybe he carried on with Egon longer than the other guys. Like, we just don't know.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to get like that big reveal that people are speculating about, where it's like they all come out of the Ecto. That doesn't make sense. It's in real life. And I feel like Jason Reitman's movies like to mimic in real life things. I feel like
like Muncher.
Yeah, like Muncher, obviously. No, but we'll see them sprinkled in as like organically and naturally.
Well, now I want to see the Disney Plus series of Egon and Winston after Ghostbusters 2 looking for Shandor artifacts.
Like the Lando show. I love that. Chris, your turn to talk. I don't know how to talk.
I feel like we've all gone out for dinner. You got up to go to the washroom. I slid over, and now Abby and I are debating collecting VHS in the video store plastic cases or the cardboard sleeves.
That's a
big. I'm not letting you back in now.
That's a big decision. That's
right?
a big old decision.
Yeah, I get both.
But for the trailer, I think what I liked most was, and it kind of reinforced when we were talking about it here, is the idea that Egon's genius has anticipated the happenings of the movie to some degree and set it all up. And I kind of like that it's given me a sense of how I'm going to be really excited about reconnecting with Egon as a character in this movie, as opposed to the last 2 years roughly, where I've really just kind of worried about the crushing, like, emotional response I'm going to have to the fact that we got to deal with the fact that, Harold's not around and we're going to do a movie with his character without him here. So I kind of like the idea that, yes, the sad's coming, but there's a real sense that after watching this trailer that Egon, even though he's not around, has come out swinging, right? So that's my takeaway from the trailer.
I'm legit getting like choked up and emotional thinking about that. And that is like,
right?
Yeah. Using comedy, like having a talking or moving lamp, is the best way to diffuse that sadness.
I don't think the lamp's going to be
I don't think it's going to talk, but
it's not going to be talking.
Well, hey there, Callie.
I don't know, but that is how you cope with loss in real life. Sorry, I'm being serious.
Welcome to the farmhouse. I'm Lamp.
My name is Lamp. No, I think it's going to be awesome. I think we're going to feel
hundreds of years ago, there were Gozer worshippers, just like today, who fed on the blood of Ghostbusters.
DNA.
Yeah, just Mr. DNA. Sometimes after worshiping a Gozer worshiper would get stuck in the sap of a tree. So listen, we're coming up on 2 hours. You guys got 10 more minutes to talk about some of these toys?
Do I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
We could do a part 2. We could do Ghostbusters Day Part 3 or
Part
something.
3, Part
yeah.
2. So listen,
when
this right, exactly.
Now, let's do
in between
it now.
everything else. Hey, real quick, we're
Order
gonna
my Italian food. Let's do it.
Hey. Couple things I want to get off from the top here. One, if you like what you're watching, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please find Yes Have Some on iTunes and Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Please follow the Ghostbusters Interdimensional Crossrip as well, wherever you get your podcasts, because the next 4 months, is what we've been doing. This is what we've been building out.
This
for.
is what we
been
were
training for
born
this.
for.
We've been training for this. We didn't listen. 2017 and was the desert of Ghostbusters. It's like what are we gonna talk about?
Baseball.
right. We got some more super chats coming in. I'm going to acknowledge those. Please follow us. Please subscribe. Please tell a friend if you like what you're seeing. And we're going to talk about the toys. Some of the stuff might be considered spoiler territory, so I don't want anybody to leave. Not major stuff, not unexpected stuff, but it is that I think that's a fair warning. So, all right. Jeremy Marks, $5 super chat. Mr. PKE, where did you come from? I love that so much.
Hello, Egon.
I got things dying here. Hang on 1 second.
All right.
I'll be pulling an Abby. I'll be standing up and then sitting back down.
That's
Okay.
cool.
What's dying?
That's what cool people do.
And at super chat, I'm loving the stream and so pumped for the film. Thank you from Centriviz Gaming. You guys have been incredibly generous tonight. It's not expected. We do this because we love to do it. Yeah, I guess I'm going to be sending 1099s to Chris, Troy, Ryan, and well, you guys don't pay taxes.
Are we tipping out? We're tipping out the bartender?
Tipping out the bartender. Okay. So, in addition to the trailer released today, Hasbro unleashed a slew of toys. This stuff has been in the works for a long time, and we've survived a pandemic, and new toys are coming. So let's start off with Ghostbusters Plasma Series. First of all, here they are. Lucky, Trevor, Phoebe, Podcast, Shield. Just sorry. It just sounds like the Shield. Sounds like the Shield. Does it not? So these are our Ghostbusters Plasma Series figures. This is the first. Right, now we're moving into the toy anxiety portion of the show. Should we play the theme song?
Yeah. This is where the fun begins.
We've got our first look at the team in flight suits. We know it's coming. I would point out the first things I noticed here are that Phoebe has a Spangler name tag. Podcast has a homemade-looking Ghostbusters name tag, and he's not wearing a pack.
Pam is now canon. That was her
Pam
patch.
Pam from
Her
Ghostbusters.
patch is now
Hasbro
screen
Pulse
accurate.
Card.
So good on her.
Congratulations, Pam.
And then we've got Trevor, and then we've got Celeste. Trevor and Lucky. Celeste O'Connor is playing Lucky. And Lucky is the only one with pants tucked into the boots, a la Bill Murray, which I love. I think Jake pointed that out.
Loving it.
And then we've got our remote control trap there as well. Now, I get the vibe here that Podcast is going to be mowing people's lawns, and Rick Moranis is going to show up.
Oh my God!
Because that's the vibe I got from the Honey I Shrunk the Kids vibe. And then people are we're going to get to that capital P. I'm going to acknowledge that. So that's the first image. What do you guys think?
I mean, these look great. I think we kind of anticipated that this was going to be coming as far as Plasma Series, but just to see it, to finally see this, and it is a little strange that we're seeing all this in toy form before we're seeing it in a trailer or the film, but it's just like it's kind of mind bending to just be like, here we got new Ghostbusters, here they are.
These all look great.
Surreal, yeah.
Great captures of the likenesses too.
Do you have the other shots of the turnarounds where they got like the mini puffs on the packs?
I
and all
do.
That stuff too?
Let's go to that stuff. So
He does. He
That to me
does,
is-
but he's going to show us 15 other pictures first.
cool. So it looks like the Lucky figure comes with the trap, and man, just a cool shot. They all come with different accessories, which is cool. I'll go to the next one. Well, here's our first look at.
Oh, so you were right, Jake. Good call.
Well,
Let's
of
just
course I
talk
will.
about it. It is Winston Zedmore from Ghostbusters Afterlife with a beautiful silverish black hair. Looking at the original classified ads from Ghostbusters 1 makes no sense. If you close up on the classified ad, it says Ghostbuster for hire. Do you believe in astral projections? And so on and so on.
It's a cute accessory. You can put it with your other figures. It's good.
It's great. It's awesome.
Dude, that's the best Winston we've ever got. I love it.
I'm just going to keep scrolling through these, and anybody who wants to comment as we go go for it. Here we got. I love this so much. I love the idea. Bill Murray's going to show up in this movie and be like, you guys want to do some telepathic card playing?
Paying you, aren't we?
You can keep the $5 podcast. I still think I predicted this last night. I think there's going to be a post-credit scene in this movie of podcast interviewing Peter Venkman on his podcast. That's going to be the post-credit scene.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Anybody wants to chime in here, or should I keep going?
Yeah, keep rolling.
Well, let's keep going. I want to chime in when we see them all.
So we've got our podcast here. There's another shot of him that I wanted to talk about that we got a super chat from Philip Clark, and he brought it up, but I don't want to spoil it. But none of them have boots on, or at least podcast doesn't. It looks like he's rocking some Adidas
tennis shoes.
Here we've got I love this Ray Stantz figure that looks like Selinsky from Tommy Boy is incredible.
I love it.
Hey, Mr. Selinsky.
And the Tobin Spirit Guide's cool.
I'm Tommy Callahan, Big Tom's son. Sorry to hear about your dad. He was a good man. Yeah, it comes with a big old Tobin Spirit Guide, which is just fantastic. It looks like these are new head sculpts or updated head sculpts. The bodies are probably the same from the original Plasma series. And then we got Trevor here. Comes with a string of mini puffs to lay over the proton pack, and it comes with, I guess, the map that they're looking at in the movie. Troy, is that what you?
That's actually the inside from his Reeboks.
Oh right, it is. It's the paper, the tissue paper.
Oh,
he got in on.
He's like, I just got some new shoes. Check this out.
I'll keep going here, and then we've got. Look at the build figure, Jake. When you saw
what
this,
is that? 5 points articulation. I bet you Star Wars wish they got one of those.
Real quick, Frog Brothers super chat. Just wanted to say we love all of you and thanks for calming us down on this exciting day. Is that what we did?
yeah, we calm.
Well, we appreciate the support, guys, because I feel like I'm about to have a panic attack. Thank you guys.
One
very
big
much.
long panic attack.
So we kind of saw this guy in the trailer, but I love this so much.
I saw people calling this a Loki variant.
Oh shit!
I love it though.
I see
I
it,
do
I
think
see
it's
it.
super cool.
It's great. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
I agree.
This is where I
It's
was
big
thinking
and
like it looks like an
menacing.
Egyptian. It looks like an Egyptian god mixed in with a pterodog. Like that's what it.
Yeah.
Like something at a
The
Stargate.
stature, yeah.
So this is the one that Philip wanted us to highlight. So we've got Logan Kim here wearing a bunch of mini puffs just melting all over him. He's got the remote control for the trap. There's a mini puff on the ground, and then he's got the ghost whistle, the Aztec whistle on his belt as an accessory. And I don't know anything about it, but I want it and I need it.
What does he summon? Yeah, I need to know everything.
Probably Muncher. Who knows?
That's what I was thinking.
Maybe the whistle is the cause of this whole thing. You blow the whistle and Gozer appears.
It's a dragon
Maybe
sword.
that's how he
It's the
calms
Green
down
Rangers.
pterodogs.
Yeah, I can't wait for podcast. What does this
Pterodogs. He
do?
blows the whistle. Oh, so then it's like a Megazord of like Gozer.
Yeah, those are Megazords. Activate Ghostbusters. All right.
I like that it suggests that they might be trying to tie together or expand on the whole what magic / the supernatural is in the Ghostbusters movies. The idea, like it's entirely possible that, the Temple of Shandorian. It's Sumerian or Mesopotamian or whatever. So Aztec doesn't quite fit, but I like the idea that maybe Ray shows up and he's dragged along, some books and some artifacts that aren't directly related to the same time and era, but can still have an impact on, the supernatural goings-ons, right? I don't know. It's exciting to me because that's what the real Ghostbusters did. The real Ghostbusters just opened it up. Whatever the writers came up with, they would tap in and slap into the Ghostbusters universe. So,
Right.
like supernatural and lore and history-wise and all that. So,
And I also love
that's
Little mix.
I hope at some point in the mine they have to tie all the mini puffs together and use them as some sort of rope to swing.
Hey, I just want to read. Brock Parker said that it summons 5-star iTunes reviews.
Whoa.
First podcast. I love that. Dude, all I know is I'm smashing that like button for Logan Kim. I cannot wait. I mean, we heard it on Ghostbusters Day. 4 different people said he steals this movie. We haven't even heard him say anything yet.
Yeah.
That's why they cut him out of the trailer. We're like, people are just going to be talking about podcast. We need people to be talking about everything else.
Now we've got Lucky here, and I do Celeste O'Connor. She's they're raising money on Instagram for a music video project that her production company is doing, and if you pay $50, you get a handwritten letter in the mail, and from Celeste. And I did that immediately because I've never had a Ghostbuster send me a handwritten letter before.
Yeah.
I've had one try to sell me vodka, but I've never got a handwritten letter. So, boy, you're gonna want that handwritten letter.
Yeah.
So check out Celeste O'Connor on Instagram.
Yeah, they're awesome, and that figure's very, very cool. I'm excited to see.
And then we've got Trevor here.
Hey, we should go back. Did we ever talk about her wand?
The proton beam is different.
The purple beam?
Yeah.
Purple
cool
beam.
looking.
I think the tip is different too, isn't it?
Ryan, I told you you had to keep it calm tonight.
Wow. Wow. Look at this. Breaking his own rules. Craig Goldberg, everybody. Here I am being good all night. And then Craig just...
This looks great. Now, one thing is, remember in the first trailer, the proton beams definitely leaned a little bit more purple. It looks like they color corrected them for this one. So maybe it's just an older production kind of thing. I like it. I think it looks awesome.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
I think it's
I'm
cool.
looking at the